Welcome back to the Miami Sports Vibes YouTube channel. On to week 3 for my picks and predictions, both straight and against the spread. Last week was weird week. I finished 9-7 straight up and then 8-8 against the spread. Like, what is up with that? First of all, I think I'm going to take that, honestly, because we saw some weird things happen. We saw Dallas lose to the Saints. Nobody predicted that. I got the Browns pick right. They beat the Jaguars. Not many people predicted that. Not many people predicted the Indianapolis Colts to lose to a Jordan Loveless Green Bay Packers team. What else did you see? The Raiders beating the Ravens. Who would have thought that as well? The Bills dominating the Dolphins. You can argue that one. But, the amount of upsets that happened, everybody who was pretty much supposed to win in the beginning in the early window just freaking lost. It was completely insane. Crazy week, one of the craziest week 2s of the NFL that I have witnessed. But let's drive right in to week 3. And it starts off with Thursday Night Football with the New York Jets taking on the New England Patriots. This game is the Jets are favored by 6.5 points. Pretty high number. This is the Jets home opener here. Jets obviously coming off a win against Tennessee, but the New England Patriots have looked solid, man. 2 games in a row where they look solid. Listen, I'm not going to waste too much time here. I'm going to say the Jets win this game. I think the fans are going to be amped up. I think it's going to be a crazy atmosphere there. The Patriots do know how to play the Jets well and have owned the Jets, but that was in the Belichick era. I'm going to start to put Mayo's, era. I'm going to put him to the test real quick. I'm going to lay the 6.5. I think the Jets win this game by probably 7 at least. Maybe it's a 10-point game. I think it's close. Can they cover? Absolutely. But I'm going to put Mayo to the test here. I think the Jets kind of, start something new here against the Patriots and start a new trend. So I picked the Jets to win this game and the Jets minus 6.5. Going to lay that as well. The next game, another New York team. This is on the Sunday slate. Obviously, the New York Giants, who looked so damn bad, taking on the Cleveland Browns. This game is in Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 6.5 points. Obviously, the Browns, everybody was in panic mode week 1 after the way they played, but they bounced back week 2 against the Jags. The Jaguars were the favorite. Cleveland was the underdog coming in. They shocked a lot of people. Deshaun Watson played a solid game. Their defense obviously is one of the best. I don't know if it means that the Jaguars suck or the Cleveland Browns have improved. I think Cleveland did improve in a lot of ways, and I like them, especially in this game against the New York Giants, because they look god awful. They lost the game in a game where they didn't even give up a touchdown. Talk about that. Listen, Malik Neighbors does look great for the New York Giants. So there is something to watch if you're a Giants fan, but I am going to lay the 6.5 here, and I'm also going to take the Cleveland Browns straight up. Next, the Chicago Bears taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by a 1.5 points here, okay? Caleb Williams looks very bad so far, all right? He's taken a lot of hits. He's not really wowing you. DJ Moore looks frustrated, but this Bears team is talented. What is going on? Same thing with Anthony Richardson. He's not wowing me either. Michael Pittman looks bad. These are 2 teams with young quarterbacks that people had high expectations for and are not living up to the standard. I don't know what's going on here. I think that's why it's a minus 1.5 point spread. I think this game can go either way. It's kind of hard to call it here, but my gut tells me the Chicago Bears are a better football team than the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm going to take the Bears here, and I'm going to take the Bears plus 1.5. Don't feel totally confident. I think it could definitely go the other way, which is why it's pretty much kind of a push here. It's going to be an interesting game with 2 young quarterbacks. Definitely something to watch. Next game, the Houston Texans taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are at home. The Vikings look good, man. You're talking the Vikings are 2-0, coming off a big win against San Francisco. Brian Flores dialing up on the defensive end over there. That defense looks great. I think they're not stopping here. The fact that this is only a 2.5 point favor for the Texans is a little scary. It kind of makes me think that this has potential for everybody to be on the Texans and the Vikings to kind of do what they did last week and kind of sneak out a win. This is very, very hard for me because I love the Texans. Man, I don't know how to call it here. I'm going to go with the Texans. All right. I'm going to go with the Texans to win this game. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points, but that line looks fishy to me. And normally when it's fishy, I kind of go the other way. And normally I would pick Minnesota here, but no Justin Jefferson, I believe. Just give me the Texans -2.5. I think their defense does keep them in it, and they could win. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. What's going on with the Saints? I mean, damn. Putting over 40 points on the Carolinas' head and then Dallas's head. Who would have thought that? I mean, they look incredible. Alvin Kamara looks like he turned back the clock. He's scoring touchdowns left and right. Derek Carr looks like a quarterback that we have never seen before. It is insane what they're doing. Philly choking a game to the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night. Trouble in Philly. Man, are the Saints for real? That's where the question lies. Are the Saints for real? Are what we seeing from the Saints for real? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's for real. I'm going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles as the underdog, and I'm going to pick the Eagles plus the 2.5. Eagles should not have lost that game to the Falcons. I think that pisses them off. I think Barkley's going to have a big game in this one. Obviously, they did play the week before Friday, so they had a lot of rest. I don't think they're too banged up. Being without A.J. Brown is a very big deal. I'm not going to minimize that at all, but I think the Eagles are a better team than the Saints. I don't think the Saints are that for real. Even though they've been putting up some crazy numbers, I don't trust them. I really don't, and it might shock people, but that's just me. Next game, the Chargers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chargers, man, Harbaugh got them boys playing well over there. Obviously, there's an injury concern with Justin Herbert. He's questionable to play. J.K. Dobbins, however, looks freaking good. I think he's going to have I don't know if he has a big game against the Steelers defense, but he's definitely going to be heavily involved throughout the rest of the season. This game is tough. Chargers 2-0. I'm going to go with the Steelers here. I think the Steelers win. I like the Steelers -1.5. They are the favorite, so I'm going to take them -1.5 and straight up. I think the physicality that the Steelers constantly play with, I think it's going to be a little too much for the Chargers, and this probably is where the Chargers pick up their L. They had 2 easy games to start now, okay? This is a tougher defense that they're playing that they're used to seeing. They're going to be put to the test, and I like the Steelers on that one. Next game, the Denver Broncos taking on the Bucs. The Bucs are favored by 6.5. They're at home. Denver looks like complete crap. I mean, listen, Denver is stay away, stay away, stay away. Carolina and Denver are the 2 teams that I just think are disgusting to watch. I'm going to fade them every time. I'm not going to overthink this anymore. Give me the Bucs and give me the Bucs -6.5. It's disrespectful to lay 6.5 on a team, but I'm going to do it. Denver and Carolina are teams that is just, they're awful. They're awful. I'm always going to lay the points and take my chances. Next game, Tennessee Titans, -2.5 point favorites against the Green Bay Packers. Packers are probably going to be without Jordan Love again. Now, they looked pretty damn good without Jordan Love, running it with Malik Willis, doing a couple jet sweeps, running it with Josh Jacobs. The running game was tremendous. I expect them to kind of do something similar to that, where they're not really trusting Willis to pass like that, but getting really creative in the run game. I absolutely love what Matt LaFleur dialed up. I think he brings that over to Tennessee. It's going to be a tough game. Tennessee's pretty much in must-win territory. Will Levis looks very, very sus, man. Very sus. I don't know. And this is crazy because this Tennessee Titans team has some ballers. DeAndre Hopkins, Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, who had a day last week against the New York Jets, L'Jarius Sneed. What's going on there? I'm going to pick the Titans. I'm scared, but I'm going to pick the Titans -2.5, and I'm going to pick them straight up. I don't know what's going on. The quarterback play scares me, but the talent around him besides the quarterback, I think it's good enough to get the job done against a team without Jordan Love. Love what Green Bay did without him. Is it sustainable? I don't think so. Next game, Carolina going against the Raiders. Raiders are 5.5 point favorites. Gardner Minshew with a crazy win against the Baltimore Ravens. Who would have thought it? I definitely didn't. Bryce Young is now benched. Andy Dalton is now in. A little bit more consistent quarterback play for the Carolina Panthers. But as George said on my betting video yesterday, if you guys haven't tuned into that every single week, we give out our bets, not just do our picks here and predictions. Dalton's consistent. But I think the issues with the Carolina Panthers go far beyond just the quarterback. So I am willingly laying the 5.5 here and picking the Las Vegas Raiders to get the win here at home. Next, my boys, the Dolphins, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. This game is in Seattle. I gave my prediction on my live show on Tuesday night. I'm sticking with it. The Dolphins are underdogs. I am picking the Miami Dolphins plus the 4.5. I think that is a great bet to take. And I'm also taking the Dolphins straight up to win this game. Listen, Seattle is obviously a team that's trending in the right direction. They're a good team, but they are a team that easily could have lost both of the games they played. I know they won. I know they're 2-0, but like I mentioned, those two games could have went the opposite way. They weren't really convincing, all right? You barely got by Denver in that first half, was a little shaky. Against the New England Patriots, you almost lost that game. Now you're playing a little bit of a tougher team in Miami. I know they don't have Tua. I know Skyler is the quarterback there, but they have a lot of things that they can do and a lot of creativity that could definitely be coming their way with Mike McDaniel come Sunday. So give me the Dolphins and the Dolphins plus 4.5. Then the Detroit Lions taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are at home. Lions are the favorite by 3 points. Cardinals are freaking fun to watch. The Lions are also fun to watch. This is going to be a hell of a game. I'm excited about this one. This is probably the game, one of the games that I'm mostly excited for this week. I think you got some fireworks here. I love the Cardinals offense with Marvin Harrison Jr., the way Kyler looks. James Conner looks great. Trey McBride. And then the Lions offense, Montgomery, Gibbs, Laporta, St. Brown, even though he's hobbled up and dealt with an injury. He's questionable, but still, Lions, Cardinals. This is going to be a fun one. It might shock you who I pick, but I like the Cardinals here. I'm going with the underdog. I love the +3 here for the Cardinals. I think they deserve it at home, getting 3 points. I think they lose by 3, if anything. I absolutely love the 3. I probably would lock that in a bet. As a matter of fact, I might do this after this video right here. But give me the Cardinals and give me the Cardinals plus the 3. It wouldn't shock me if the Lions win. Obviously, they're a better football team, and they're a team that has proven that over the course of a season. Cardinals are kind of starting to knock on the door, but I kind of like the way the momentum is riding towards the Cardinals. And I like them in this spot at home. Next, the Baltimore Ravens going against the Dallas Cowboys. Baltimore 0-2. I talked about this in my betting show. I don't think that this Baltimore Ravens team goes 0-3 to start this season. They have high expectations out there. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. You just picked up Derrick Henry in the offseason. You made it to the AFC Championship last year. You have high expectations. I cannot see this team starting 0-3. Dallas is a good team. And Dallas just got stomped by the Saints. So expect their best game. And this game is going to be a treat. You got two teams coming off some bad losses. You got the Ravens with arguably their backs against the wall. Give me the Ravens and give me the Ravens minus the 1.5. I'm surprised they're favorite. But I mean, it's barely a favorite. It's a pick 'em here. Give me the Ravens and give me the Ravens minus the 1.5. Next game, rivalry here. The 49ers taking on the Rams. 49ers are favored by 7.5 points. Wow, that's big for a division game, but think about it. Cooper Kupp is injured. Nakua is injured. The Rams just got destroyed by the Cardinals. Their defense doesn't look too good. Now, the San Francisco 49ers also dealing with injuries. Deebo Samuel is supposedly not going to play. Christian McCaffrey's still out. So both teams are hobbled up. But I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I think they bounce back after losing to the Minnesota Vikings. And I think they just kind of need a get-right game. You're probably going to see a lot of George Kittle, a lot of Brandon Ayuk here, and I think they get the job done. Give me the Niners and give me the Niners minus 7.5. Next Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Atlanta Falcons. This game is in ATL. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5 points. I'm going to lay the 3.5 points and take the Chiefs, and I'm going to take the Chiefs straight up as well. Shout out to Kirk Cousins getting the job done in Philly, but their offense just it doesn't look too good to me. Now, Casey's without Pacheco now. That's big, all right? So their running game is going to look a little different. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Travis Kelce also has had 2 bad games back-to-back, but I think the Chiefs are just a better football team than ATL. I'm not gonna overthink this one. I think a big game from Xavier Worthy is incoming in this one. Give me the Chiefs and give me the Chiefs minus 3.5. Now we got 2 Monday night football games. All right, you got the Jaguars in Buffalo taking on the Bills. The Bills are favored by 4.5. This game is in Buffalo. Jacksonville looks bad. Jacksonville's in must-win territory. They absolutely need to win if they want to have any chance at anything in the season. I just don't think when you're 0-3 to start the NFL season, it is a recipe for you to get into the playoffs. So I expect the Jaguars to play their best game. However, I think the Bills have shown with this 2-0 start and the way they've been handling teams and the way they've been winning teams, that they are a team that you still can't mess with when they have Josh Allen out there. Therefore, I'm picking the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to take the Jaguars plus the 4.5 with the spread because, like I said, they're playing for their season. If they're going to lose, they should lose by 3. If you're really playing for your season and it means damn much to you, you should cover 4.5. Give me the Jaguars plus 4.5, but the Bills straight up. And the last game is the Commanders taking on the Bengals. Bengals at home, minus 7.5-point favorites. Listen, the Commanders are a team that Jaden Daniels looks good. All right. There's 2 weeks of football where you can see, like, all right, you can see what they're going to be made of. You can see they're going to be a problem in the future. But the Bengals, 0-2 to start the season. That's bad. That's another team with high expectations. Do I think that the Bengals start the season 0-3? No. Bengals are at home, especially. Jamar Chase hasn't had a good game. Listen, I think Jamar has a big game. I think the Bengals win. They're at home. Listen, 7.5 is a big number. All right. This Bengals team hasn't shown me that they could just beat somebody up like that. So I'm going to take Washington plus 7.5. But I think the Bengals win this game and give me the Bengals straight up. And those are my picks and predictions for week 3 of the NFL season. Obviously, like I said, week 2 is crazy. Let's see if I bounce back. I need to get that record up to the standard to where it was last year. I think it will, though. Keep it locked in. Let me know what you guys think on the comment box. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and let me know what you guys think. If there's any upsets, I saw a couple people say, some upsets on the last video, which I liked. So keep the comments going. Let me know what you think. Let me know your upsets. And best believe I'll be back right here on this YouTube channel for week 4 of picks and predictions. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys on the next one.